set for a grade 3 race, and a nice race at that. Striker PhD, this horse has been really good on the dirt. He's actually even been better this year as a 5-year-old. Larry Ross has got this one in his barn now. Even money with Lustig Mawing coming off a second place effort in the Big Bear Stakes there at Santa Anita behind a Regally Ready. There's the 2 Bellarmine with Abel Cedillo, Bob Hess Jr. Going to be the second start coming out here to California. And a 4-year-old colt by Magna Graduate who was pretty well beaten in that last start in the Damascus. Here's Everton. Everton had a lot of promise early on in his career. I feel like they've had some issues with this horse staying sound. You see a lot of time in between the races. Actually very well beaten in October of last year. Came back with a nice winning effort and will, believe it or not, get to the first graded stakes of the career for the 3. Polytechnician goes through at 9-1. Coming off of 3 straight wins and stepping up in class. Mr. Bowling. Remember Mr. Bowling from the Kentucky Derby Trail? Of course, that was really nice there early on at Fairgrounds and hoping around back into form. Mario Gutierrez in the irons. Marino's Wildcat is a sprinter stretching out. I don't see how anybody's going to be in front of the 6 early on. Now, the distance is obviously going to be a question, but that probably looking like your pace setter there at 16-1. The 8 GG Rider after the scratch of the 7 Basello, the Brazilian bred. GG Rider, been a pretty solid type here for Jerry Hollendorfer. Won half of his career starts. Only a 3-year-old colt there, coming from the AP Indy bloodlines. And then Pepper Crown on the outside, coming out of the common race behind GG Rider and Mr. Bowling finishing a close 3rd in there. I've actually got a long shot in here that I like quite a bit. We'll see it. The longest shot on the board right now, believe it or not, is the 2 Bellarmine. I've actually followed Bellarmine quite a bit. And in my opinion, it's not even close. His best surface is the synthetic. If you look back at Keeneland this spring, got a blowout win in an allowance race, and Ken DePeek knew that he liked synthetic so much that he wheeled him back in 5 days to give him one more chance on the Keeneland synthetic, and off that short rest, he actually ran a pretty nice 3rd. So I really think that synthetic's going to be his best surface. And also, how about Bob Hess? $80,000 claim from Keeneland to bring this one out west, and then last time out, forget about it. I mean, drew the rail in the Damascus. That was a really tough race. 50-1. Chi2, Magic Mark, Midnight Hawk, Declassified. That was a really salty bunch. So I think that Bellarmine here at a huge price has actually got a chance to jump into the action. Taking a look here at Discreet Mark, 6-5 for that gray. And she's going to be the favorite here in the Matriarch, getting set from Del Mar. 16 minutes to post there. And we'll get back down to that grade 1 here shortly. But they have reached the starting gate here for the 7th from Golden Gate. Now, Striker PhD is your 6-5 favorite. My only concern with Striker PhD, the horse has only run 1 time on the synthetic, and it was in this very race last year in the Berkeley, and the horse finished a very unthreatening 5th, beating 10 lengths. So Striker PhD has always been a great type there at Emerald Downs, and put in a good account of himself, finishing 2nd in that Big Bear Stakes at Santa Anita. But we'll see how he's going to fare once again, trying the Tapeta for the 2nd time. They've begun the loading process. Once again, a mile and 16th here for this grade 3 Berkeley handicap. The 3 Everton up and into line for Kaleem Shaw. What a year it's been for him. Bayern, winning the Pennsylvania Derby, as well as the Haskell and the Breeders' Cup Classic, and also another promising horse for Kaleem Shaw Dortmund as well. Here we go, into the gate for the grade 3 Berkeley handicap from Golden Gate. Ready?
Racing. Everton away fast with Marino's Wildcat and GG Rider Pepper Crown, followed by Polytechnician, Mr. Bowling, and then comes Bellarmine with Striker PhD on the inside. 6 lengths covering the field. Marino's Wildcat goes to the front. Everton is sitting on his inside, a half length back second from GG Rider, Polytechnician. Mr. Bowling on the inside, 2.5 lengths off the speed, followed by Pepper Crown, Striker PhD, and Bellarmine on the outside. 6 lengths covering the field. They're at the 3/4 pole, led by Marino's Wildcat, and neck to Everton on the inside, followed by Polytechnician. GG Rider is 3 lengths off the lead. Mr. Bowling 5th following the fence. So GG Rider's in the 3 path. Then comes Pepper Crown. He'd be up to the 4 path now. Striker PhD getting on heels as second last. Marwing trying to edge away from the rail. And on his outside in the bright lime colours is Bellarmine. It's quite a bunched field mid-race. They're at the half-mile pole, 6 lengths front to back. And little separating Marino's Wildcat and Everton. That pair being stalked into the far turn by Mr. Bowling. And GG Rider out 4 wide is a length and a half off the pace from Polytechnician. Striker PhD back to the rail. Lose within 3 of the front. He needs to find somewhere to get out of that pocket, though. Then Pepper Crown and Bellarmine at the quarter pole. Marino's Wildcat from Everton and Mr. Bowling. Gigi Ryder the deepest from Polytechnician. He's off the rail again on Striker PhD. Bellarmine on the inside. Pepper Crown swings very wide. The split comes for Striker PhD, but Mr. Bowling has moved into the lead. Pepper Crown descends on them. Gigi Ryder comes out wide on the track. It's Pepper Crown with the lead from Gigi Ryder, and Pepper Crown makes it a trio of stakes wins on the year, beating Gigi Ryder, Striker PhD and Mr. Bowling. Then Marino's Wildcat and Bellarmine, Polytechnician and Everton.
981 Pepper Crown and Juan Hernandez with a nice overland route here to get the score in the Grade 3 Berkeley Handicap. Is going to be a price at that 981, and that allowance on November the 13th looking pretty salty after that finish, and a little bit of trouble there for Striker PhD. Had to go up on heels on the backside and could only manage a third there along the inside. Once again there